Let's take a look at a small 1 to 4 player tile laying game called Small Islands. Hey, I'm Will. This is a game designed by Alexis Allard and published by Mushroom Games and Lucky Duck Games. It is a 1 to 4 player game where you are placing tiles and then eventually your ship around a island or set of small islands. And then you are trying to fulfill contract cards so that you can place out your nice little houses on the islands to score points. Whoever has the most points wins. We are going to be playing a solo game here today, and I will kind of go over the rules as I play. The game is not too complicated, so you should be able to kind of get a good grasp of what the game is like while watching. But feel free to skip to the end if you just want to see the review. So let's begin. So here I am set up with a solo game. There is a number of ship cards with different stars on them. For the difficulty level, I've selected the 4-star difficulty, and then this dictates which cards to place in the solo deck. There are 2 different types. One of this type, 6 of this type, and then a little bit of extra about how the AI will score at the end. And very simply, it will be flipping over cards so that the AI can take turns. So I will have a hand of 3 tiles. There is a stack over here that has 6 tiles on top and the market row. Once those 6 run out, we are allowed to place ships. And we'll go over more detail while we do that action. So before we start the round though, I have one of each type of objective card. I am playing on the advanced mode, which means the objectives are separate. So you'll see there is a requirement card and a scoring card. If you are playing on the standard mode, these are larger, or rather standard sized gaming cards, but they're larger than the minis. And they have them paired together, usually in a way that kind of makes sense, but not always. So at the start of the round, we get 2 extra sets of these. So we'll get to see kind of a variety, and I'll have to pick and choose a pairing. So I'll pick a pair that we're going to score this round, a pair to save for later, and a pair to discard. So we're going to take a look at, say, the objective cards right now. What I think is most feasible. Having all this on the island is a fair amount, so that might be better later in the game. Same for this one. Having more greens than orange, it's very possible. We already have one island that qualifies for, another one that could. So maybe I'll save that one. I'll use that one, and then save this one for next round. That card gets discarded, and then out of the objectives, I could just get a straight up 6 points without really doing anything. Although I need to have, of course, the objective filled. 6 points per island. It could be pretty good if there's lots of small little islands. Here we have draw a exploration token per house and keep one of them. These tokens have different point values on the other side. So the more you get to see, the better your options are. And then here we have 4 points per set of icons. So those might be more challenging. Maybe we'll save these for like a super island later. And let's go with maybe the exploration tokens, because those may or may not work out to more than 6 points if I'm lucky. So let's try that. So we'll discard those. And so I'm going to save these for next round. I'll put my 4 houses. There you have 8 in total, but you're allowed to place 4 per round. So I'll set that aside. Save better ones for later. And I also have some tokens that I can add on. I can add on 1 per turn during an exploration turn. I'd have to cover over an existing feature in order to do that, but that could potentially get me to the points I need. All right, so this is what we're going here. We want more green than orange, and then we are going to be drawing exploration tokens per house and then keeping 1. So this is per island that this scores on. So let's see what I have in my hands. I do want more greens. I got a lot of oranges here. which is not necessarily ideal. There's definitely more greens in the market supply, so that is a good sign. So maybe I will grab some of these and start adding. Okay, so we're going to put this over here and expand, and we'll put it this way and expand that island a bit. Okay, and then the AI is going to go, so we flip over one of the AI's cards, and here we have, so first, if this stack was empty, it would place its boat, but it's not, so instead it's going to take the middle from the row, and it's going to be based off of the tile that I messed up, sorry. It's got to go like that. They can't be shifted. I should know that. All right, so it's based off the tile I placed, and then there's priorities. So since it can place to the right of mine, it's going to. And then back to my turn. So that island is okay. It's definitely going to work out for me. And rather, all of them can work out as long as I can control when the scoring happens. Let's take this one and add it in here. Okay, now the AI is going to place a ship if it could, but it won't, so it will take the middle, and it will go straight down, see if it finds a valid spot. No, it's not valid, so then it'll try to the right. Not valid, and then it'll try above, and it's not valid there either. Okay, and since we can't place this tile anywhere, according to the chart, it's just going to discard it, and the AI is going to gain a point. Okay, back to me. I do want to continue this. More greens than not. I would like a house on each of these, so I need to add a house over here. So maybe I'll grab this tile and add it down here like that. So now I have a house. All right, next. Okay, can't place a boat yet. I'm just going to grab this tile and place it over here. And I can rotate it how I want. So we'll do this. And it's very possible that the AI is going to place first. So I need to make sure I maybe place another location on this island where I can place buildings. Otherwise, I might be in trouble. Lots of space there. I could grab this one, would be pretty safe. So why don't we grab that one? Place it here. Okay, we fill from the deck. The AI is going to go, and yep, it's going to place a boat. And it's going to place it above where it can. Okay, and then we're going to go into a scoring phase. So the AI is going to place anywhere where there is a island with 2 flowers. So there is 1. And that is currently it. Now I get a chance to place as well. And I think I'm going to do all 3 and try to maximize things here. Because all 3 do qualify for having more green than orange on a tile on the island. So I can do it in each of those. So for each of those, we'll grab based on each one. So there's 1 house, 1 house, and 1 house. So I literally get 3 tokens. I don't get to pick and choose. If I had more houses, I would kind of get to pick a little bit, but I don't. So we're going to get 6 and 4 and 6. Okay, all right. It's a little bit less than if I just take the 6-pointer card, but I'll go with that. Okay, and then that is the end of the round, so we discard our objectives. We are going to go back up to 4 houses. And so you see the, let's go over quickly the boats. So the boats of the AI are neutral colored, but otherwise they would be colored based on the player color. And you would only be able to place your own boat. Now the AI will place all of the neutral colors first, and then place, steal your boat and place it as neutral. But normally in a so like a 4-player game, each player has their own color, and only they can place that boat. That means that each player essentially has some control over how the round will end, or how the game will end and when the game ends. Especially the last player to place a boat may have the least advantageous position, but they have the most control. A position being at the end of the game, you'll get points equal to the anchors around and the 8 tiles surrounding your boat. Okay, so I back up to 4 houses, so I can score up to 4 each round. There's the objectives I have saved before, and we're going to get 2 more of each. Okay, so here I have the 4 points per set. And I have points per location that you can place a house on. And then this one is a little trickier. I think that's one of the advanced ones. That is for each island where you place a clan house, count the number of resources on the tile where you placed your clan house and the 8 surrounding tiles. Do not count resources on different islands. So I literally get points based on immediately being around the house itself. That's interesting. If I can build like a mega island somewhere. But that might be a later thing. So let's start small. Let's go with houses in that one. And then maybe we'll save these for later. And then discard these. This is for later rounds. Okay. And then we're going to add 6 tiles to the stack. Determine when the round's going to end. And since the guy finished, that means I get to go. Let's see, I want a house and 2 flowers. Maybe I'll start adding more house symbols like down here. That'd be pretty good. And then grab a house. Okay, the AI is going to take the left one and place it along the left side, so it's going to place over there. And then refill, and I need, let's see, another house and another flower at least. So I don't want to close this island just yet. A new one is an interesting proposition, as long as I can keep them separate. I don't want these islands connecting. Would probably not be a good thing, because then I wouldn't be able to score on that island either. Let's see. I mean, the AI could do it either, but I don't want that. Well, maybe we should start a new island somewhere else. So let's just go off over there, and we're going to take this one. Okay, we'll take the third one, and we're going to go down from another place. Nope. Over, straight up. Can't place it. So the AI gets a point. That was a tricky one to place anyways. And now, that would be great for over here, except there's no house. Need more flowers and houses. But there's a place to place a house. So I'll put that there. Okay, the AI is going to go. I can't place a boat yet. It's going to grab this tile and place it to the right of mine. It can't. It can go above. It can. Okay, so I could end it now. I do want somewhere good to place my boat though, and I don't feel like there's anything yet. I'm also not scoring anything. So maybe I will grab this tile and place it here, so at least I can score something this round. Okay. The AI needs to shuffle. And yep, it's placing a boat below if possible. Okay, and then it's time to score. So let's see. The AI is going to draw a scoring card and 2 leaves. Anywhere there are 2 leaves. We can go here. We can go, oops, here, and I believe that's it for now. Okay, now I can score. The only island I can place right now is this one, and I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Okay, and then we go on to the next round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Discard these objectives, and let's get a couple more. Okay, so here we have a point per house and per leaf. And this one is based on the size of the islands themselves. So I would need islands of exactly that size to score, which is a little bit trickier. Since there's only two islands potentially that I don't have anything on. So maybe that's not the best one to go for. Leaves and houses. Yeah, you want this island's a good start for that. Let's keep that. And we'll do more leaves than flowers. So we'll do that this round. And then we'll save these for later. Okay. And I believe it is my turn to go. I need to go. I need to not let the AI steal my ship at some point, so. Alright, so houses and leaves. Can I place this one anywhere useful? Not yet. Let's go there and draw that. Okay. He's going to take the first one and go to the right. Oh, sorry, the left of me. Okay. And I want houses and leaves are the best, and I have one of each here. So let's go ahead and add that in the bottom, and maybe grab this one. Okay, he's going to place this one to the left. He can't. He's going to go up above and place it somewhere if he can. He cannot. And he's going to go to the right and place it. And he can't do that either, so he's going to get a point. Okay, there's more leaves. Leaves can be good. This one adds a leaf as well. Although this island might be great for the other scoring condition I'm saving for later, the one with the surrounding pieces. That one might actually be better for that. So let's maybe branch out a bit and start something different. So let's go over. No, these risk connecting. It's dangerous. But maybe, we'll see. Maybe if I place it like that. Okay. Alright, the eye is going to go, and he's taking the middle, placing it to the right of mine. Okay. And now I could place my my boat now. There's not really anywhere good for the boat for anchors. Do I delay and try to maybe make something for anchors? No, that doesn't make it better for anchors. That makes it worse. For here? Oh no, he's going to place his boat potentially next to this. Oh, I'm going to risk it. So that means I'm going to have to finish the game because this AI has a lot of boat placing cards, so it's very likely that he'll finish it. And yeah, he's placing boats. To the right, he can't. Below, he can't. And then to the left, exactly where I want it. That's too bad. Okay, and then for his scoring, 2 flowers. Everyone's got 2 flowers. Okay, he can go on this island. He can't go there yet. Can't go here yet. No, that's it. Okay, now it's my turn. And I'm just going to place in here and get 2 points. It's not very much. I'm going to choose not to score this one because I think I can get a lot more points later. And that's it. Okay, let's add a new stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to keep those and grab a couple more. So we have pink equal to either orange or green. I think those are flipped. We have scoring for houses or temples, or I guess not houses. And then we have, this is distance to seagull tiles, which could potentially be a lot, but things are pretty condensed this game, so maybe not so much. I think I'm going to stick with my everything around the house. And then for the qualifier, this one could be tricky. You know, I'm going to take the equals and just hope I can control that. And this will be the last round, so I only need the final thing. All right, my turn to place. We want to pump this island up as much as possible for tokens. So let's place that one in there and then take more anchors. Okay, he's going to shuffle. And, oh, okay, he's taking the left one. He's placing it 1 over from me. Okay, well, which works out in my favor. I do need a good place for my boat. So, do I want to keep working on Mega Island here? Or do I want to place my boat somewhere for anchors? I do want some good anchorage. So maybe let's go over here and block that off. And draw this one. Okay, he is going to go above me. So he's just going to place it there. And I'm going to try to stuff as many icons into this area as I can. So let's take that and add that in here. And then he's going to take the middle and place it to the right. Okay, and I have to place my boat. I need to end it now, or I'm not going to be able to. This kind of messed me up a little bit, so I'm not getting a lot of anchors. Oh, I should have placed my tokens earlier. I totally missed out on, I should have been stuffing things in here. Oh, you know what? That's going to mess me up. Flowers. I should have been watching. I didn't even think about that. That is going to completely throw off my game here because my flowers is not going to be equal to orange or green. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have 1 flower. Yep. That's just got too occupied with playing and the video and totally forgot. That's that was my big scoring opportunity. You know what? Maybe I won't place my boat now, because missing out on the points there is not a good idea. And I need to add in some flowers. So I think going in here is going to save me a little bit, because then I have 1, 2, 3. I'll just take this tile. I have 1, 2, 3 flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4 orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So and then we're going to take a flower and cover over. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I cover over an orange, I will have 4 and 3. If I cover over a leaf, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're just going to go with that. And yeah, he's going to place my boat to the left. Nope. Above. No. To the right. Yes. And he's going to steal my boat. You can't steal other players' boats in multiplayer, but the AI can steal your boat. I think giving him 1 point versus being able to score this is kind of a big deal. All right, and then he's going to place anywhere where he has, well, there's 2 leaves. So he can place in here, and he can place in here. I can choose where that goes. And then I get to now place flowers equal orange or green. I think my only option is in there, but that's a good one. And then I'm going to get, for here, symbols all around it. Is that including the starting? Do not count resources on different islands. Okay. Where you place your clan house and surrounding tiles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That definitely makes up for some of my earlier plays being not as great. And then the AI is already placed. So now we're going to look at the AI card as the end. And he has 75 points minus, so there's 40, 50, 60, 75, minus 5 per house. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is minus 30. Okay, so we got 10, 20, 32, 10, 20, 32, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And then he also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He gets another 5 for boats. So he has 20, 30, 43. Okay, he beat me. He beat my 3 points. Okay, so as you can see, the AI does not make very intelligent decisions. It does place basically on a targeting system based on where you've placed. Sometimes he's not able to place at all. And even then, he's pretty much determined by the makeup of the cards, which are changed by the boat. So whether you have more of the land placing cards or more of the ship placing cards will kind of adjust the game length a little bit. But the eye essentially still just, it plays not quite like a player does, but it takes up some space. So I'll give it that. I'll give it that it's easy to administer. It is still, fairly unfair. I did lose by a few points there based on the ships. He did steal my ship at the end, which you cannot do in multiplayer. but I needed to because I accidentally forgot to calculate for my final big island. So it works. The AI works. It is not a very intense puzzle. It's pretty light and easygoing as far as a solo game goes. Usually, I look for something a little more thinky or passive for my solo games. This one's kind of a weird middle place where you don't feel like you really have a whole lot of control. And so let's go into the multiplayer perspective. So multiplayer games can really swing wildly. Not, sometimes by points. Sometimes a player may get lucky, and people have helped him build the exact islands he needed. Regardless of what his card is, because we didn't necessarily know, and then that player is able to get 20 points at once. If for what feels like nothing that you could have stopped him or done better yourself. There's also a weird tendency to build mega islands because the islands fit really well, and there are the occasional large island pieces. But mega islands mean you may get a big wallop of points for one house, but then the island is done. You can only score it once, and you have to branch off of like a weird little awkward side corner somewhere and try to start another island. Is anyone else going to help you build that island, or are you building it by yourself? Is there going to be enough houses? Usually, yes. Even in 4-player, I thought that the game would tighten up a little bit more because there'd be more people fighting for placement of their houses and turn order would matter more. But it never really came to be a problem for that. Oftentimes, you just wouldn't be able to score the island anyways, or you had already done it on a previous turn. Or the islands just got so big because it was easier to connect them than separate them. Which, in a game called Small Islands, it's a bit of a problem that it is too easy to build big islands, and you're incentivized to build big islands, at least for an initial scoring, but then you have to almost kind of reset. So it doesn't feel super engaging. Also, someone placing, that one wrong token that throws off the numbers where you need more of this than that can mess you up a bit, but it's a light enough game that's not a huge issue. But there's no interesting decisions based around blocking people out of islands. It's all just kind of a free-for-all. On your turn, you draw a tile, place a tile. Maybe you can make an island reach your goal. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be closed before someone else or turn into some giant island that is just, someone's going to luck out on it. There is some small and few but interesting options for strategic playing where, for example, I was playing a 2-player game and I had scored one island and was working on a different one, and then the person I was playing against knew that I was aiming for that one, so she was able to connect the islands together, and meaning now since I have my house on that island, because of the branch to the other island, I can no longer score there and lost out on a large potential of points. And she was able to gain the points all for herself because she had nothing on the island yet. So, there's some weird things like that. I do like, the art is beautiful. The pieces are small, but not necessarily fiddly. The game does look great on the table, which is nice, and it's easy to teach. Except for some of the more advanced scoring cards, which, by the way, is a small spoiler. There is a set of additional cards underneath of the box, but jump in there and grab them right away. There's no reason really not to. They're not that much more complicated than the base game cards, so I would just throw them right in to begin with, and it gives you just a tiny little bit more variety to go by. Unfortunately, it still feels like it's not quite enough variety. The scoring is not quite interesting enough a lot of the times. And it's just the lack of agency. The game feels very aimless. The pacing is a little weird. While it is neat that the players control when the rounds end, the game could go until you run out of tiles, essentially, and I've seen that happen. or it could end much sooner, like it did here at a far lower scoring. But again, it's the fact that the tiles are too easy to connect, and maybe there's just not enough of the kind of tiles that are just corners. There's too many larger pieces. It means that your islands are often too big and too unwieldy, and there's not enough places for boats to go, and the game balance just kind of falls apart a little bit. So, do I recommend it? Maybe if you're really looking for another game with a different twist on scoring. It's different from your usual Carcassonne style groupings. It's different from your adjacency based scoring, which you see in a lot of tile playing games. This does have a different feel and style than a lot of tile games, and so I'll give it points for it's being set apart from those. But I think there's just not, it's not enough going for it. And I don't mean that in the complexity way. I mean that is in a engaging way. It's not engaging enough. And at no point do I want to really go back to it and play it. And while I have tile laying games that are even simpler and shorter and easier than this, to play and to teach and to score, they're have more interesting decisions on a round by round basis. So that's it for now. I'm Will. This is Cardboard Minutes. Thanks for watching, and take a minute and go play some more games.